Welcome to MiSpot, where we balance, heal, and activate who we truly are. I'm Haki Kiki, and tonight we celebrate the first quarter moon. Yes, so I hope that the energy has been treating you well. So first, let me just keep it a break because this is my second attempt to record this moon celebration because I'm a Gemini and we're going to get it done. So tried to go live last night and I don't know. It just won't, I just can't. It just won't work. Like, it's like my signal don't stay connected long enough. I went live fine a couple weeks ago, but whatever, we'll try again another time. So the message or the video that I have recorded for this first quarter moon is gone. It's like 2 minutes and it's over, which is fine. So I have to take another attempt at this. So I'm gonna try to make this quickly. So if you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. Before we dig in, let's just set the intention and call in our spirit teams of divine love and healing light. I ask your permission to allow your guardian angels and ancestors connected to the sun. I ask your permission to allow them to come in and just ground your energy, okay, baby? We can't go into a 5 to 10 minute guided grounding right now, but if you can't ground your energy, you don't know how to ground your energy, you probably shouldn't be over here. But just start with taking 3 deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth and allow yourself to relax, okay? Just grounding yourself, just reconnecting and just kind of pushing out any negative energy, any tightness, anything that's just not in alignment with you being fully present right now, okay? So this is a first quarter moon. The moon is currently in the sign of Virgo, but this is Gemini season. We just had a new moon in Gemini last week, and I hope that energy helped you feel empowered in your knowledge and your thoughts. I hope you felt more clarity when it comes to communicating, or maybe even like communicating, sharing, or relating in information. And if it hasn't felt that way, like if communication hasn't felt easier, it might be a good time to allow this energy to support you with some communication. And it could be something like even just writing, just like expression, even if it's in the form of writing. So first quarter moons are typically moons that represent challenges. So the new moon comes in, we get this blank slate, we plant some seeds, and then within the first week, it's like, okay, whatever obstacle or challenge that could be stopping us from manifesting these next seeds could start to show up, like, your first test, your first tribulation, your first hurdle that you have to get through. And so this energy calls us to like make a decisive action or take action, or it's all about decisions and actions this period with this first quarter moon. And so being in Virgo, depending on what house Virgo rules for you, but Virgo energy tends to, there is um a trait that comes with Virgo and healthy energy, and that is communication. Um, Virgo also respects and appreciates communication, They might be considered to be perfectionists or whatever, but they're also a mutable sign as well. And so is Gemini. So anyway, that first quarter moon being in Virgo right now, you might be just kind of feeling like the challenge you could be facing when it comes to what you have to take action on. It could be something that you might want to do more on a regular basis. Like you're starting to add something that you want to either communicate or write or say on a more consistent basis. Could be prayer, could be meditation, could be affirmations, but it could also, like I said, could be writing. Maybe it could be journaling. I want to do this every day, or every day I'm going to say this to myself, or every day I want to tell this person this. Something like that, something with like routine and communication. So I hope that you find some breakthrough there, especially if you haven't been feeling the support of communication or information or education right now. Okay. This is a time where we start to feel friction, in the steps that we're trying to take forward. We start to feel a little resistance, but that's there for us to grow. That's there for us to make the decision and take the action to push through that first hurdle. And like I said, this energy is supporting you in a routine, communicative way. I hope that makes sense. And then you can start to refine your goal. So as you like grow through this obstacle, and this could be very subtle energy, but it could also be pretty deep or heavy. And so this is a time frame or a moon phase where you kind of evaluate your progress and then refine your goal. Okay. So you go through this first obstacle, like, okay, now I know. So now when I move forward to my end goal, I just learned lesson number 1 was XYZ. So I got to keep that in mind as now that I'm moving forward here, let me refine my goals. Let me adjust my plan accordingly. Okay. Use it as a learning lesson. Our challenges create opportunities. Okay. Challenges create opportunities. I just put my hand in the Palo Santo. Thankfully, I think it's out. All right. So for this week, as we celebrate this first quarter mode, this week we have not too much going on in the sky. So this is for the week of June 1st through June 7th. The only thing that is happening this week is, besides the moon, is Venus. Venus is moving into Taurus on June 5th. Okay. Venus moving into Taurus gives me an energy of course, considering what house Taurus rules for you. Even your natal Venus could impact it. But in the overall grand scheme of things, Venus is that love, beauty, money kind of energy. To me, Venus means like luxurious, luxury. And so moving into Taurus. So Taurus is very grounded, another, sign that can be pretty routine, organized, stubborn. But stubbornness sometimes can be you can have stubbornness in a good way where you're not easily fooled, you're not gullible and goofy, or you know what I'm saying, less than smart. But Venus moving into Taurus tells me like love is going to be, or not just love, like attraction, beauty, um money, luxury is going to be like surrounding you, like protecting you, like running up. That's the energy that gives me. It's like it's expanding, it's opening up. That's kind of what I see with that. So it sounds very good to me. Um, that happens on June 5th. Venus doesn't have a very long transit. She'll be there for a few weeks. She'll be there through the rest of the month of June. So you can expect to feel that energy through the rest of the month. And then we have a couple more astrological events that happen before our full moon in Sag on June 11th. So before we have that celebration, there's two astrological events that happen between now and two more rather. Venus moves into Taurus, Mercury moves into Cancer, and so does Jupiter. Mercury moves into Cancer on June 8th, depending on where you are, of course. And Monday, Jupiter moves into Cancer on the 9th. Okay. It's been really good in this Jupiter energy. So Mercury moving into Cancer is definitely like to me, it's like it just screams emotional intelligence. Okay. I've kind of talked about this already, but that's Mercury moving into Cancer says emotional intelligence to me. And you could have challenge or growth in any of these areas depending on your own chart, but the purpose is for you to align with the energy. And if it's a challenge, you know what what your part is in order to manifest what you're planting a seed for, versus when you're in alignment with the energy and you can just enjoy it, be in flow with it. Okay. Just that's the purpose of this, is to understand what the themes and the keywords and even affirmations, whatever, but there will be other things we can scripture, quotes, books. There's so many different things that, music, movies that will help us to understand these themes and how we can use them to align ourselves with these energies and time our best life. Time our best life. All right. So, Jupiter moving into Cancer is it's the same, like overflow of love, like overflow of like abundance, like soulmates. I don't even know about this twin flame stuff. But that kind of energy, very like an overflow of love, very, very high love, like, yeah, high vibrational love. I think Sexy Time came up in my last message too. Well, not the one that I recorded before this, but my last moon celebration. I think it's in the title. But okay, so that's what's going on in the sky between now and June 11th. All right. So here are some aspects that are happening. The sun is squaring the moon right now, which I'm going to double check, but that might be what creates the first quarter. the sun squaring the moon. I'm a confirm, but I think that, that's why. It's the way that the sun is positioned from the moon. So to me, the sun squaring the moon energy, huh, just had a revelation. The sun squaring the moon, to me, the sun represents your ego, our ego, our identity. It could be our career and purpose, but it's like who we present ourselves to be to the world. Our first impression, okay, to the world is that sun sign. And so a square relationship or square aspect is something, at least in my mind, I think of as I need to do something to break out of the box. Like, so the energies of these two planets are closing in on you, and you need to take that decisive action. Like, just, it's almost like just flexing your elbows a little bit to bust the plastic or something. You know what I mean? Like I said, the energy could be very subtle. It could be heavy too, but it could also be, so that's, sometimes you could kind of feel like maybe you're getting closed in between like your ego and like the sun with that ego and squaring the moon. The moon is our emotions, our like behind closed doors, at home kind of selves, um completely vulnerable self possibly, or things that you may hide. Our moon represents that. And so the sun squaring the moon like that could definitely be shining a light on whatever the challenge is. It could be a struggle between your inner child and your shadow self, a struggle between your fear-based ego versus like your faith, or responding to things in love. It could be an internal battle. That's how it seems, or how it comes. That's how the energy comes off. I'm going to read. I just had an aha where, since today is the day. Okay, so it was yesterday. Anyway, I think that I can look these relationships up on time passages and see if I'm right. So Venus is sextiling Jupiter as well this week. And a sextile is an energy that it works like in harmony. It might require a little bit of like in your initiation, possibly, but it's an energy that works with you. It's a supportive energy. So Venus, love, beauty, money, luxury. Sextiling Jupiter, planet of expansion, overflow, growth. Love overboard. Like, I don't know what else to say. Love overboard. I can't help myself. So listen, I'm here for it. Venus also is in conjunction with Chiron. So planet of luxury in conjunction with Chiron. So a conjunction is a relationship where the energies like intensify and amplify each other. So they take each other a little over the top. So Venus, all the things, love, beauty, money, luxury, in conjunction with Chiron. Chiron is the wounded healer. So Chiron is like I said, to me, it's like your testimony, what put you on your purpose. It could be your story that gave you your gifts, how you relate and love on others. You know what I mean? Your art could be, how you exercise your gifts. And so everything's gonna be turned up a notch. So it's like love is on steroids, attraction is on steroids, Um, and then your healed self is like also turned up. Um, and it just feels like, to me, it just feels like a lot of energy needing to come out, a lot of energy needing to be released. Good energy, though, to me, feels really great. Jupiter is also squaring Saturn. So Jupiter and Saturn are kind of boxing each other in. Jupiter, planet of expansion, growth, um, overflow, abundance, squaring Saturn. Saturn is the planet of discipline, limitations, um, karma. So there could, like, depending on the seeds that you've planted, this energy is like an exposure on what you've been doing behind the scenes. Jupiter is kind of exposing Saturn based on like what you've been doing by yourself in your alone time, maybe behind closed doors, what you might, it could be what you're hiding, but it could also just be what you like to do in your spare time. Maybe it's a practice that you do that you're sharing or something like that. But I think that Saturn and Jupiter squaring each other, it's like one's going to be showing the other one's secrets that may not be something they want people to know. And then the other one's going to be and then the other one's going to be exposing the ways or what someone's been doing behind the scenes to grow. So one's going to be what people don't want people to know, and the other one is what someone else has been doing to grow. So I think that it's like a head to head right now. Head to head. Okay, that could be the twins. That's the energy I'm getting from these aspects. Saturn conjunction in Neptune. So Saturn, again, discipline, limitations, boundaries, restrictions, karma, in conjunction, amplifying, intensifying Neptune. Neptune's planet of unconscious, subconscious, spirituality, wisdom, intuition, like that eternal, internal kind of energy in conjunction with Saturn. So it's like the discipline and limiting beliefs or things that could be hidden are kind of going to be fighting against the things that could be hidden. Where it's almost like it's almost giving like a little bit of good and evil kind of energy. It's interesting. Wow. And then lastly, not least, there's other aspects. I just grabbed these six. Neptune is in a sextile with Pluto. Neptune, again, planet of um, subconscious, spirituality, intuition, things that are hidden kind of energy, is sextiling Pluto. So sextiles are energies that work in harmony with each other, energies that are balancing things out. So Pluto represents, it's a planet of transformation, death and rebirth, planet of generational like patterns and cycles. Okay. Neptune sextile and Pluto says to me, like, somebody could be seeing or learning how to balance out their like how like the religion or spirituality they received growing up, like balancing it out with, I guess, like their own like understanding, or their not own understanding, like their own experience. Like they're starting to balance it out. Like they're starting to see what might have been being shared, taught, that wasn't necessarily, I don't want to say an illusion, but maybe the way that they processed it or the way that it was taught, the lesson was different than how they're seeing the lesson now, how you're seeing the lesson now. That's that Neptune sextile and Pluto for some reason. I don't even know where I have no idea what I even said last night, but that energy, Neptune, that, like I said, he's the planet of dreams. And so it's like you could also be being called back to visions you had as a child, like growing up, like what you wanted as a child growing up. Didn't I say something about inner child earlier? Yeah, like your inner child and your higher self, inner child, and shadow self. Okay. So that's what's going on in the sky. Let's see if we can get, so the square, so sun squaring the moon. This here says, this is from what's this thing called? Time Passages. Sun in strong square with moon. The planetary energies conflict. This is the square. Internal and creative tensions bring rich rewards through effort over time. With the sun squaring with the sun square moon, we have a quarter moon, which occurs about twice every month. This is a powerful time when seeds of intention that were planted earlier with the new moon begin to see the light of day or else perish, increasing our wisdom and our understanding of present circumstances. The relative success of current ventures is judged and found either acceptable or wanting. This is a powerful time when seeds of intention that were planted earlier with the new moon begin to see the light of day or else perish. Increasing our wisdom, I was talking about, you're going to kind of like grow through it, and our understanding of present circumstances. Okay, this is where we are, this is what's happening. The relative success of current ventures is judged and found either acceptable or wanting. That was that reevaluation I was talking about, like evaluating your progress and then refining your goal, acceptable or something else. Okay, she on to something. What's next? Venus in sextile with Jupiter. The planetary energies flow together, open into new possibilities, new connections. Venus is the planet of love, beauty, and money, and Jupiter is the planet of expansion. Venus trine or sextile Jupiter presages a lucky day. Opportunities of romance and harmony exist, and you might increase your financial well-being. Right. Listen, the abundance is here. With beauty supported by optimism, it is difficult to feel anything other than joy today. Who would have thunk it? Next, Venus in conjunction with Chiron. The strongest blend of the energies represented by these two planets, Venus is the planet of love, beauty, and money, and Chiron, called the wounded healer, is the planet of healing and acknowledgement of concealed trauma. With Venus conjunct Chiron, there is a powerful ability for relationships with others to reveal hidden problems that have long been walled away. With Venus conjunct Chiron, there is a powerful ability for relationships with others to reveal problems that have long been walled away. Okay. Early woundings regarding how and why we relate to others might come up. This can make patterns of behavior more conscious and ultimately lead to acceptance and deep healing. Wasn't I saying something about the reason you might mess with somebody? Why you like somebody? Why you like certain people? What the heck? The early woundings regarding how and why we relate to others might come up. Wow. Okay. Jupiter in strong square with Saturn. The planetary energies conflict. We just got two more. The planetary energies conflict. Internal and creative tensions bring rich rewards through effort over time. Okay. Jupiter is the planet of expansion, and Saturn is the planet of restriction and structure. With Jupiter in dynamic aspect to Saturn, the energy is one of both stop and go. The urge to expand and the necessity to contract. There's the potential to create a solid framework with difficulty around our optimistic or lofty goals. The potential to create a solid framework with difficulty around our optimistic or lofty goals. So it's like, get real, get realistic. Okay, and two more. Saturn in conjunction with Neptune. The strongest blend of the energy is represented by these two planets. Saturn is the planet of restriction and structure, while Neptune is the planet of inspiration and faith. With Saturn conjunct or in dynamic aspect to Neptune, there might be a sense of confusion in the air about authority figures or professional goals. It's a time when everyone might be forced to place boundaries on what is nebulous and to accept it that some goals are impossible to achieve. There will also be the potential to create something solid and enduring from one's imagination. So this energy is going to be highlighting like faith and fear. Like getting real, being realistic. Okay, last one. Neptune in strong. So I wasn't able to read these during my live because the moon wasn't here already. So when I looked at the aspects the other day, I knew where they would be on the day of the first quarter moon. But the time passages, I can't go forward to see the aspects. I can only see the aspects in real time. You can, but I think it's like an extra, you have to pay per whatever if you want to see like future stuff. But so I can see the current, so as the moon has, the first quarter has gotten here, now I can read these and test myself. And I tried to do that in my last message and I couldn't because we wasn't here yet. So I'm gonna work that out. All right, but sounds like your girl was on. Neptune in strong sextile with Pluto. Okay, so sextile, the planetary energies flow together, open into new possibilities, new connections. Neptune is the planet of inspiration and faith, and Pluto is the planet of transformation. With Neptune in flowing aspect to Pluto, there is a need to eliminate ideals that are unrealistic and to pursue a new pathway to the future. The only way to embrace personal or global potency is to have belief in each individual's ability to control his or her own environment. This is also an ideal time to affirm the healing power of forgiveness. Whoa. Forgiveness was on the bottom of the deck when I pulled the Soul's Journey cards last night, or night before last. Last night? So this was cool. saw it as family and generational. So like getting over like old patterns when it came to like what you were taught in faith and or even going back to what you dreamed of, like what you were inspired by as you were coming up. So just to read this again, with Neptune in flowing aspect to Pluto, there is a need to eliminate ideals that are unrealistic and to pursue a new pathway to the future. So it's like you're balancing, it's like you're tweaking your spiritual or religious goals. You know what I mean? Or maybe like what you've been taught as religion or spirituality. I can relate. Um, the only way to embrace personal or global potency is to have a belief in each individual's ability to control his or her own environment. Each individual's ability to control his or her own environment. Okay. This is also an ideal time to affirm the healing power of forgiveness. All right. Well, that's what's going on in the sky. So we know where the planets are. We know what moon phase we're in. We know what the purpose of this moon phase is. We know where the planets are shifting. We know what themes those planets and the signs that they're shifting into. We know the themes and the keywords surrounding them. So we know what to expect with the energy. So now we can speak to the energy when it comes up. We also know the top 6 or the strongest 6 aspects in the sky right now. So now we can pull a card from our lovely Moonology deck. Oh, excuse me. Wow. Excuse me. Let's see. I wonder if anything is going to come out like last night. You could be seeing 222 a lot. You could be seeing 1111. A lot of like alignment, even like 333. You probably feel very protected even as well. But you could definitely be seeing 222, 1111, and maybe even 333. A lot of alignment. Got 2. It's time to take action. New moon in Aries. And look at the bigger picture. Full moon in Sagittarius. It's time to take action and look at the bigger picture. Both full moon, one new moon, one full moon, and the full moon in Sagittarius is coming up next week. Look at the bigger picture. And it's time to take action is in alignment with the theme we had on decisive action under this first quarter moon, pushing through, taking initiative and pushing through the plastic. Might not even like cost you a whole lot, you know? It's like you just gotta take the first step. So let's read both of these. Bottom of the deck, believe in the impossible, blue moon. Did you come out? Believe in the impossible. Y'all hear that? Blue moon. All right. So let's read. It's time to take action. New moon in Aries. It's time to take action. New moon in Aries. The flame is lit. A wonderful new start beckons, and you're on the right track. Drawing this card is a superbly positive sign. If there is something you want to happen in your life, take this card as a big yes exclamation point from the universe. This is the time to really tune into your dreams. You may still have a long way to go. After all, Aries is the first sign of the zodiac, but you're on your way. Determination, self-assertion, and bravery are called for, but the hot fire of Aries is driving you towards success in whatever endeavor you're asking about. The caution, don't go too fast and forget your manners. Treat people well as you charge towards your goals. You'll create much better karma for yourself. Attuned to the moon. Don't even think about giving up. Additional meanings for this card. Do your best and be happy with that. Avoid being brash right now. You need a 12-month plan. A new male is coming into your life. The teaching. Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. So the new moon in Aries is the first of the 12 or 13 new moons of the year. If you're committed to working with all the lunations, then the new moon in Aries is the right time to start. And drawing this card, no matter when you do it, signifies it's also the ideal time to start your moon work, such as setting intentions. Thank you for the confirmation. We already on that. Okay. Thank you, Spirit Team. We on that over here. All right, look at the big picture, full moon in Sagittarius. So this is a preview. This is a preview of what to expect next week. This is a, what you call it? A fortune telling, a future telling, a fortune telling. This is let me give you a peek into the future. Come look into my crystal ball. I have a crystal ball too. She's over there. But come look into my crystal ball. Look at the big picture. Full moon in Sagittarius. I'm excited. How you doing? Come on, focus. Are you thinking too much about the details of your dilemma? Fretting over minutia can be counterproductive, or perhaps you're being all talk and no action. This card is a reminder that while it's good to work things through, sometimes you need to take a step back and look at the big picture. What do you see? What do you then see about your current situation? What's the most positive thought you can have about it? Now is the time to count your blessings, even if you don't yet have exactly what you want. This card is a reminder that we often have to take a few risks and go with uncertainty on this journey called life. Try to keep an open mind about what's for the best. The universe could surprise you. Attuned to the moon. Take time out for a mini break or adventure. Additional meanings for this card. This situation may have come around because you've been distracted. Be confident without being overconfident to win the day. Have you shown that you care? If not, now is the time. Find a balance between speaking your mind and saying too much. The teaching. The full moon in Sagittarius is a time when we are reminded that life is an adventure and there's a big, wide world to see beyond our backyard. It's about having fun and being prepared to sail into uncharted territory. It's about big ideas versus the details. No matter when you draw this card, it encourages you to look at the bigger picture. Is it good or is it not? Okay? What do you see when you look at your current situation? What do you see about your current situation? What's the most positive thought you can have about it? The most positive thought. And what's probably the worst part as well that you can have about it, the most negative thought that you can have about it. Keep an open mind about what's for the best. The universe could surprise you. That's that Uranus energy. Not Uranus, like well, it is. Uranus does have a surprising kind of energy. Uranus is Uranus is in Taurus right now, I think. Okay, let's pull a few soul's journey and we'll wrap it up. I can't tell if this is blurry or if it's, I don't know. It looks blurry. Yeah, you look blurry. Can you get yourself together? Can you refocus or something? Like, why my camera's over there look all blurry? I like these cards. I say that all the time. And I hadn't pulled them in a few weeks. And I pulled them last night. Okay. We have failure and success. Whoa. Failure. I understand that a mistake is only an opportunity to learn. And success. I know that there is no greater goal than to love. Yo. Oh my goodness. Failure and success. Success and failure. What, like, so the other night when I attempted to record this message or go live with this message, when I pulled this deck, I got a very dual energy. I remember being like, there's a stark difference in the energies. And now I pull it today and these two cards come out together. Failure and success. If those aren't opposites, I don't know what is. Let's see what's on the bottom. Balance. Bruh. I bring a state of perfect harmony into my world, and I do so without judgment. Failure. Wow. I don't know what to make of this. Failure. I understand that a mistake is only an opportunity to learn. Life on earth is full of experiences. It is our human brain that views outcomes as good or bad. The soul simply views them as chances to grow. Learn to see the big picture of life instead of the minutia. No freaking way. Minutia? Really? Two different decks. Failure to accomplish a task is merely the opportunity to evolve. And the negative connotation of the word failure can prevent you from trying again. You must come to the realization that there is no judgment involved with your soul's lessons. Realize that what you view as a failure is just your soul telling you that there is another path. Embrace the maxim. When one door closes, another one opens. It is a time for you to stop any negative emotional investment you have in the outcome. Revel in the knowingness that everything will reveal itself when it is meant to. No matter what, be true to your dream and the creative process. Creativity came out heavy the other night too. Bruh. Minutiae though? And I was talking about our challenges, seeing our challenges as opportunities to grow. So this is the same energy where you're like dusting yourself off and trying again. Like you are refining your goals. Realizing that what you view as a failure is just your soul telling you that there's another path. So we're being called into a new pathway, a new direction. When one door closes, another one opens. Revel in the knowingness that everything will reveal itself when it's meant to. No matter what, be true to your dream and the creative process. So that's failure. And then success. Success. I know that there is no greater goal than to love. Success can mean many things to the ego self. Success can mean many things to the ego self, but the soul only knows one triumph, and that is to love. When your soul is no longer manifested in the physical dimension, it is a time of reflection on how successful it was with that endeavor. The soul doesn't care how big your house was or how nice your car was or how many bank accounts you had. The soul only cares about how you express love and compassion. In the infinite wisdom of the universe, the more love you demonstrate, the more you will receive. And when your ego's definition of success is altered, sorry, my apologies, I screwed that up. In the infinite wisdom of the universe, the more you demonstrate, the more love you demonstrate, the more you will receive. And even your ego's definition of success is altered. Your notion of how you will be perceived as successful will change. The material things that you thought would make you happy will not have the same appeal. I don't know why I struggled with that one. Probably should have kept the hard up. Even your ego's definition of success is altered. Your notion of how you will be perceived as successful will change. The material things that you thought would make you happy will not have the same appeal. Listen, life is about balance, okay? Balance. Look, doubt. Who is this? Patience, self-esteem. Self-esteem came out. Grief, self-esteem. I don't know if there's a justice card in here, but like very stark, different energy from what's going on in the sky from the angel messages and from the Moonology deck. The Moonology deck was very expansive and in flow with the energy of the sky. And then I pulled a Soul's Journey, which I really enjoy these cards. And we get in stark different energy from the other night and stark different energy tonight, even in its own cards. So I hope this message resonated. If it didn't, please take what does and let the rest fall for somebody else to appreciate. And if it does resonate, please like, share, comment. Don't forget to subscribe, turn on your notifications, and I will see you here next week. Okay? All right. Always go within so you never go without, like Miss Victoria says. And Worldwide Speaks is her name. And she says, I love you, but God loves you more. And over here, Haki Kiki says, we stay connected to the one who sits high, looks low, and sees everything. All right. Good night, and I'll see you next week.